Hello, hello, my beautiful peach people. Welcome to your reading. So as you saw in the options, there was 9 options, and in that same way, you are going to get 9 cards. This is today's number, I guess. Just been dealing with a lot of 9s. And then at the end, so you'll get your 9 cards, and then at the end, we'll pull some messages from this little box that's just full of fun things that I read online or saw somewhere once. And I was like, huh. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? Please, Spirit, can I have some guidance for the people watching this who picked this peach? Please, Spirit, can I have some guidance for the people watching this who picked this peach? Please, Spirit, can I have some guidance for the people watching this who picked this peach? Please, Spirit, can you further us some guidance, please? Please, Spirit, can I have some... Okay, it says we're doing 9, and this was a multiple of 3. We will take it. So, your first card is the Fool, which is fun. So you're feeling lost right now because you've recently started a new thing, a new project, a new job, a new home you're living in. Maybe you moved to a new city. I'm feeling that for a lot of you, this is going to be like about a new skill specifically. So either a job or a hobby that you've recently just started, like a hobby that's really important to you that you recently just started, and you just feel like a dumbass. You feel like a fool. You feel like you don't know anything. Like, why did I get myself into this thing that I don't really know how to do? Like, what was I thinking? So yeah, the first row is just going to be like kind of explaining how you're feeling right now. So it's going to be kind of a bummer, but obviously we'll get more into it. And this is good for you to get a feel for if you picked the right pile. So yes, our lovely Fool is how you feel right now. You just feel like a fool, unprepared, not ready. Then you have the World reversed. So in addition to just having started this new thing that you know nothing about, you feel like there's some unfinished business left behind. Whatever it is you were doing before, either your old job, you feel like you didn't get enough closure, even if you don't work there anymore. Like with your coworkers, you feel like you could have made a more graceful exit, if that makes sense. Or if this is about a new hobby or project, you have so many other things that you started and you never finish, and you're scared that this is just going to be another thing that at first it feels really exciting and fun and you have no idea what you're doing, but it's fun, and then you just quit before it's done. And lastly, we have the 9 of Pentacles here. This is just a classic Rider-Waite deck, so I'm not being super careful to show you the cards, though I guess I shouldn't assume that you guys have seen them before. So the 9 of Pentacles is actually a very happy card. So this is what's bothering you, but at least you have a good home. The 9 of Pentacles is about building your garden around you. Oh, maybe this is what it is. So you have the 9 Pentacles, right? You are this lady with all these pentacles, all these resources at her disposal, but somehow you can't organize your resources to get the beautiful garden that this lady has, so you might have a beautiful home that is always really messy because you just cannot stay on top of chores. Or, excuse me, you might have a lot of money flowing in, but you're bad at money management. So at the end of the month, you're still scrambling to pay bills, So this is what you're struggling with right now. Let's go a little deeper. More guidance from each peach people, please, Spirit. More guidance from me, peach people, please, Spirit. A couple more cards of guidance from the peach people, please, Spirit. One more, please. One more card from the peach people, please, Spirit. Should we take that? What do you guys think? I think yes. Doesn't feel right. I don't think I'm gonna take it. Sorry. One more card, please, Spirit. One more card. One more card, please, Spirit. It's 3 cards. We just need one. Sometimes I feel like Spirit just gets a little like, oh my god, just take it. I'm like, no, I only want one. Okay, one more card, please, Spirit. I'll take 2, but 3 is too many. One more card, please, Spirit. One more card to clarify the 9 of Pentacles, please, Spirit. One more card to clarify the 9 of Pentacles for peach people. Please, Spirit. One more card to clarify the 9 of Pentacles. Please, Spirit. One more card to clarify the 9 of... There we go. Okay. So to clarify your the Fool card, we have the Ace of Cups. So the aces are about new beginnings, so it makes sense that would come to clarify the Fool, which is the 0 card, in case you don't know that, for the major arcana. So that tells me that this new thing that you're starting is like divinely inspired. You know, the Ace of Cups, it's about love, but it's also about divine love flowing through us and inspiring us to begin new things. You know, so you had, I guess this isn't actually giving us that much new information, so I guess I'm just gonna move on from it quickly. But yeah, this is just this new thing you're starting is divinely inspired. If you needed that reassurance, like this Ace of Cups is like, this isn't just like any idea, you know, it's an idea that has so much potential to bring you so much happiness. Like there's so much potential here. And then to clarify the world, we have the 9 of Swords reversed. So this is eating away at you. Like these unfinished projects, for those of you that this is about projects, might even be 9 of them, are just like, it just keeps you up at night. You just can't stop thinking about it. You can't focus on your new thing because you've just got the weight of these like 9 swords hanging over you. And for those of you that this is about a job, you just keep, that feels incomplete, even though you might not be working there anymore. You just keep thinking over and over, like, I should have said this or said that before I left, or, oh, I wonder how they're doing with this thing that I was working on that I kind of left in the middle of, and now they have to deal with, oh, it's their problem now, it's not your problem. So yeah, this unfinished business is just like really eating away at you. And then the 9, to clarify the 9 of Pentacles, we've got the 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups is about childhood. So the way it seems to me here is that these 2 cards are reversed while these are upright, right? So if you could just straighten out these things, these 2 would also fall into place. Like these are like poised to work out, you know, but you're kind of blocking them because of this, you know? So the 6 of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups here suggests that you had like a pretty good childhood, which is why you're kind of lost, but you're still able to like see all the good in your life, and that's partially because you had like a stable, loving upbringing, you know. And if you're listening to this, everything else resonated, but this doesn't. Um, this is about like now you are in a Nine of Pentacles place, and you are no longer in the place of your childhood, you know, and being free from that brings you 1111 brings you calm, like peace, you know, that you don't, you're not in that environment anymore. So first row is kind of where we're at. Second row is like explaining the first row, like where we used to be that brought us to where we're at. And then the last row is going to be the advice row. I'm not going to lie to you, y'all. Like I said earlier, I've been in the intro. I've been feeling pretty out of it today. And I really feel like this reading is also for me. You know, like a lot of it is resonating also for myself, you know. And maybe this is this keeping your house straight is hard because when you were a child, you had people like either your parents or older siblings or people you hired who kind of like dealt with these sort of things for you. Do you see how there's like an older child handing the younger child a cup? So you kind of just had this sort of happiness handed to you, and now you have to manage your own resources to make your happiness. And even though you do have the resources, you don't as much have like the management skills, you know? Okay, so advice for peach people, please, Spirit. Please, Spirit. One more advice for peach people, please. One more advice for peach people, or two more actually. Two more advice cards for peach people, please. Two more advice for peach people, please. Okay, so just this one's what you're telling me? And one last advice card, please. One last advice card, please. One last advice card for peach people, please. One last advice for peach people, please. Please, Spirit, one more advice card. There we go. All right. So the advice for dealing with this, like, I feel like a fool thing, talk to your friends. Like, you see, you got the Three of Cups as your advice card. So just like share with your friends like how exciting this all is and how you might not feel like you know all of it. It's like so exciting to explore and to be a fool and to have had this inspiration come to you, you know, like you've had the one cup and now you gotta find two other people, presumably your friends, who also each have one cup, and then you all lift up your cups and you cheer together. So yeah, just talk to your friends about it and they'll lift you up, you know. They'll be like, no, yeah, that is so cool that you're doing that, you know. And yeah, and the beginning is always rough, but you like figure it out, you know. Just like friendship, you know. And I don't think this necessarily means like do a collab with them on this. I feel like that's more Three of Pentacles energy. But if it's going that way, roll with it, you know? But I feel like this is more going to your friends for like emotional support, you know? And they'll gas you up, you know? Your advice for the World card reverse is the Emperor reversed. So the Emperor is like the father figure of the tarot, right? So it's very much like strict and like rules and stuff, and you got it reversed. So that's telling me that you have too much of that, and the tarot is telling you to like let go of that a little, you know, like that cobrança, that that sort of like in Portuguese it's like literally charging yourself, but like just like nagging yourself to like well, you started it, so you have to finish it, or you don't have like grit, or you're not a hard worker, or you're not like reliable, you know, like all of that sort of thing. Just let go of that, you know. You don't need to beat yourself up for not finishing something, so that you have more like grit, so that like more moral fiber, like you're not moral if you don't finish the thing. It's like, just let it go, you didn't finish it, it's fine. And for those of you that this was about like a job, you know how I was saying earlier, like you're all worried because you were like working on this, and you know now they're like alone and stuff. And then the emperor reverse here is like kind of a like you're not the emperor there, you know. Like I think we all are the emperor or the empresses in our own lives, but like you are making yourself out to be the emperor too much. Like there are other competent people who used to work at your job, and even if they're not, that's not your problem anymore, you know. Like you're not the emperor of that place anymore. Now you're emperor of a new thing, and you need to focus on your new thing and not be so worried about the old thing, you know. Like they will figure it out. You are not the only competent person in the world, even though sometimes, yeah, it feels like it. It does feel like it, but you're not. There's other competent people, and you can like let go a little, you know, just like let go a little. You don't have to like be controlling everything and like set this firm structures so that everything goes exactly according to plan. Nothing ever goes exactly according to plan, so just let go. And then your advice for the 9 of Pentacles is the Queen of Swords. Swords is all about the mind, all about the intellect, right? And here in the 9 of Swords is kind of like the dark part of that, where you just like let your mind get too, you know, wild, running around. But the Queen of Swords is very much about seeing things clearly, just like so much clarity. You're able to take a lot of conflicting information and just make it into a cohesive narrative or a cohesive strategy, you know. Like for those of you where this is about your house being super messy, just take the emotion out of it for a little bit. Like when I was a kid, my house was always so clean, my mom kept the house so clean, and if I can't keep the house as clean as her, that means I'm immoral and bad and blah blah blah. No, it just means you didn't have time to clean. Like try to keep it more rational, take the emotionality out of it, and just like create systems or structures that you can follow to create the environment around you that you need, you know. And if this is about finances, again, don't take it to an emotional place of like, you know, I'm making all this money but I'm spending it all because I'm like bad, or I'm like consumerist, or I'm this or I'm that. Doesn't matter what you are, just make a plan. So just to think about it more rationally, you know, try to step out of your emotions a little, so that you can have the things that create the things that that create the environment around you that you need to be happy, to be this lady with the bird, you know. But you're almost there, you know. Like I said earlier, like all of your middle cards came up reversed and the side cards upright. So when you like let go of this blockage, things will start to flow a lot better, you know. So yeah, let's get you a couple little messages. I meant to put this in a nicer box before I did this, but I didn't, so it is what it is. I guess I shouldn't be looking at them before I put them. Sic itur ad astra. Thus we are dragged to the stars. Right? So this verb here, itur, it doesn't mean to be dragged. Dragged is kind of a strong translation. It's from Virgil. It's from book 6 of the Aeneid. Itur just means to go in the passive. But that's why I'm like saying dragged. This is usually translated like this one goes to the stars, or in this way you go to the stars. I googled it real quick, and apparently it's often translated it as reach for the stars. But I think here the meaning is you will go to the stars regardless. You will be taken. Itur in the passive. Like you will go, like you're going, but you're being taken. You don't have to push it. You don't have to have control over every little aspect of it. You will get to the stars, That's just a little reassurance for those of you who are worried about maybe not getting to the star. Among the swans, there is none called the least or the greatest. So I think this goes back a little bit to this excessive emperor that you've been feeling. We're all human, and you're not better or worse than anyone else, even if it feels like everyone else is incompetent and you're the only one who knows how to like do this thing, you're not better than them, and you're not worse than them either, because when you have this better or worse dichotomy, that's how you get into this thing, because you think I'm better than them because I can do this, and then when it comes a moment where for whatever reason you can't do it, you can't finish something, then you think that means like, oh no, now I'm one of the worst people. There is no better or worse. Among the swans and among us, there is none who are called the least or the greatest. Sum quod sum. What's Latin for you guys? I am what I am. Sum quod sum. I am what I am. Trainir omnes laudis studio. We are all dragged by our eagerness for praise. Studio here is eagerness. The word study used to mean eagerness. We should bring that back, everyone. But this one is a little bit of a warning. Like, we are all, I guess I've been using the word a lot, dragged a lot here, but we're all driven by our eagerness for praise. Yeah. So I think here, we're all driven by our eagerness for praise. So it's okay to seek out praise from when you need it, from your support system. But it's also a little bit like, don't let that be the only thing that drives you. Who doesn't like being told like, wow, you did so great. Wow, you're so smart. But it can't be the only thing that drives you, and if you're feeling in need of it, like, go out and find it. But yeah, hopefully that made sense. So just to do a quick recap after those messages, you have recently started a new project, a new hobby, or a new skill, but you don't feel super confident because you don't know a lot about it. And the way to feel more confident is to talk to your friends and have them gas you up. Part of the worry that's permeating this new thing is because you feel like you have some unfinished business at your old job, or just like literally projects that you haven't done. And the way to get rid of that is to just let go of control. You don't need to control anything. You don't need to control things at your old job. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to finish every single thing. Some projects are meant to stay unfinished. Just let them go. And lastly, you have a lot of abundance, a lot of prosperity around you, but you have been finding it a bit of a struggle to transform that abundance into an environment that can bring you happiness. And your solution to that is to just look at it with a cold, rational mind and make a plan, and you will figure it out. And that's my message for you. My dear peach people, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment if you would like. Um, leave a like, subscribe. Yeah, let me know if it resonated. Let me know if it didn't resonate. Yeah, thank you for watching.